Welcome to episode 22 of our Explainer series. Today, we're jumping right into one of the most absolutely crucial challenges in artificial intelligence today, AI reliability. Look, if you're using AI for research, drafting, or data analysis, you've definitely asked yourself at some point just how much you can actually trust the output it's giving you. So today, we're going to break down exactly how to navigate the pretty complex waters of AI hallucination and bias.
Okay, let's dive right into this and shatter a pretty common illusion right off the bat. A lot of people approach AI expecting it to be this perfect, flawless oracle of truth. But the reality, hallucination and bias cannot be eliminated. They just can't. They're literally baked into the core of how large language models are built. But here's the good news. They absolutely can be managed. We just need to completely shift our mindset from expecting total perfection to actively managing our risk.
To do that, we're breaking this giant topic down into three really actionable pillars: detecting hallucination, recognizing bias, and building risk reduction habits. These three form your ultimate defense against AI errors. All right, pillar number 1, detecting hallucinations.
So a hallucination happens when the AI produces these completely false details, but wraps them up in a package that looks completely factual and grammatically perfect. Because it sounds so incredibly convincing, these errors can easily sneak right into your work. And this brings us to a really critical comparison. A weak habit is asking the AI for a factual detail and then just blindly copying and pasting it, basically blind trust. The strong habit, on the other hand, requires active verification. You need a built-in mechanism to force the AI to actually show its work.
So the crucial point here is this exact prompt. If you want to build a bulletproof fact-checking habit, regularly interrogate your AI with this. What is the source of this information? State where it's from, or say if you are unsure. By explicitly giving the AI permission to just admit it doesn't know the answer, you dramatically, and I mean dramatically, reduce the chances of it just confidently making something up.
Moving right along to pillar number 2, recognizing bias.
Now, while hallucinations are all about false facts, bias is more about skewed perspectives. You have to remember that AI models are trained on massive amounts of data that inherently carry all sorts of demographic, cultural, and political weights. A weak prompt just asks the AI to analyze a topic and settles for that single viewpoint, which essentially lets those hidden weights completely shape your analysis. A strong prompt actively seeks to expose those hidden biases and absolutely doesn't just accept the first draft as the whole picture.
To pull that off, ask the AI directly, which perspectives are not represented? Which community might view this differently? Now, to be clear, asking this doesn't magically cure the AI of bias. The bias is still baked in, but it brilliantly makes it visible. It forces the AI to literally map out its own blind spots, telling you exactly what perspectives you need to go out and seek. And that brings us to pillar number 3, risk reduction habits. This is where the theory we just talked about becomes your everyday discipline. A weak validation habit applies the exact same level of scrutiny to every single task you do. What happens? You end up with either blind trust or this productivity-killing over-scrutiny where you're checking everything. Strong validation means classifying your tasks based on their actual real-world risk level and then adjusting your scrutiny accordingly. Now, what's really interesting about this is how we categorize those tasks. When you're doing text transformation or just creative brainstorming, that's a low-risk task. You can use the AI pretty freely there. But notice the high-risk tasks, factual claims and raw data. If you were to mentally tag those high-risk factual claims in a bright deep orange, #EA580C, you'd immediately see exactly where a double-check routine must become your absolute, non-negotiable standard. Let's see how this actually plays out in the real world, because practice is where it counts, right? I want to share a quick cautionary tale from the field involving a professional content team that relied pretty heavily on AI, and they almost learned about this hallucination risk the absolute hard way. So here's exactly what happened. Step 1, a reviewer on the team was reading through a near-final draft and caught a citation for a research study that looked perfectly legitimate. The authors, the title, the journal, it all looked 100% real. But when they went to check it, the study simply did not exist. The AI had completely fabricated the whole shebang. Luckily, it was caught right before publication. So for step 2, the team immediately evolved their process. They mandated that for any paragraph containing a factual claim, the source must be explicitly questioned and stated using that prompt we talked about. And step 3, they implemented the exact system we just discussed. They classified tasks by risk. Creative drafting was allowed to be free-flowing, but anything involving research data required a strict double-check routine.
So, this brings us to a summary of these shared disciplines, basically your daily defense toolkit. First, to manage hallucinations, always ask the source and confidence questions. Second, to manage bias, always ask what perspectives are missing to make those blind spots visible. And third, to reduce your overall risk, verify information based on the specific type of task you're doing. Remember our opening mindset. AI flaws cannot be entirely eliminated, but if you consistently apply these 3 structured disciplines, they are entirely manageable. You stay in the driver's seat.
Which leaves us with a pretty provocative thought for the future. We've talked about how we, the users, can manage AI safety, but how are the actual creators of these models managing it from the inside? How does a concept like constitutional AI actually shape an AI model's underlying safety philosophy? Well, we are going to explore exactly that in our next explainer. If you found this breakdown valuable, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel right now so you don't miss our deep dive into constitutional AI. Until next time, stay focused, stay curious, and always, always verify your sources.